I went from having bloating and gas all the time, constipation, low energy, strong sugar cravings, and more, to doing a parasite cleanse and now having healthier digestion, healthier skin I've noticed, and just overall I feel so much better. And in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how I did it, so if you're struggling with the same problem, you can do it too. Peace, my name is Noman and welcome to Healing is Holistic, where we learn to master our well-being. So first I'm going to talk about my symptoms and my story, and then I'm going to talk about how I actually got rid of the parasites and the herbs that I used, the protocol, and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, you can just skip. Okay, so growing up, I always had digestive issues like bloating and gas all the time, constipation, and other issues as well. And I kind of accepted that I'm going to have to live with these embarrassing symptoms because I didn't really get much help from doctors, to be honest. And after some time, I started doing a lot of research into the potential root causes of gut issues. And that was when I came across one of the potential causes, which is parasites. I saw that I had a lot of the symptoms of a parasite infection. So I started really diving deep into the research about parasites, about herbs that are proven to be effective against them, the 4-step gut healing protocol, which is something that's used by some of the top functional medicine doctors out there. And I incorporated that into my own protocol, by the way, which I made into an ebook. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But long story short, I did my parasite cleanse, saw worms come out, and it was absolutely disgusting. And I noticed that my symptoms were getting better. Like the constant bloating and gas I had, which is probably my biggest complaint, it finally went away. And I could actually enjoy my food without having to worry about the bloating and gas that was going to come afterwards. Constipation went away. I noticed my skin was getting a lot healthier and feeling better. Oh, and the strong sugar cravings that I had went away. I mean, I still enjoy having dessert every now and then, but now it's like a choice. But before, it was like I had to have something sweet after every meal. So the strong sugar cravings went away. I had a lot more energy overall. My mood improved. I felt like this thing that was literally a parasite that's sucking your energy and your nutrients from you is finally gone. So it felt amazing to kind of clean up my gut and get these things out of my body. So I continued studying, and eventually I became certified as a holistic health coach, and I started my company, Healing is Holistic, to help other people with these videos and by working with people one-on-one through consultations. By the way, do you have any of the symptoms like bloating and gas? I'm curious, which foods have you noticed makes it worse? Let me know in the comments below. So before we jump into it, I just want you to know that parasites are one of the potential causes of gut issues, and I'll be talking about the other potential causes in my future videos, so make sure you're subscribed for that. All right, let's get into it. Now I'm going to talk about the protocol of how I actually got rid of the worms, cleaned up my gut, and improved my digestion. So basically, to do the cleanse, we need to follow the right diet. We need antimicrobial and antiparasitic herbs to kill off the bad bugs. We need a binder like activated charcoal to bind to the toxins during the cleanse. We need probiotics and or fermented foods to replenish with good bacteria. And lastly, this is optional, you can do an enema a few times during the cleanse to flush everything out. So a lot of people were asking me, what exactly should I eat during the cleanse? You know, what time should I take the supplements, etc. So I made an ebook to explain the full protocol in detail. It has recipes so you know exactly what to eat, a daily schedule that you can print and you can follow along with, and it has bonus information about other causes of gut issues. So if you're interested in the ebook, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Okay, diet for the cleanse. What we're doing with the diet is basically just starving the parasites from their favorite foods, which makes them weaker and easier to kill them off. So what that means is no sugar during the cleanse, and we want to avoid having refined carbs and starches. You don't have to completely cut it out, but I would just recommend limiting or avoiding it as much as you can. Fruits are a little bit controversial during the cleanse because some people will say you shouldn't have any fruits at all because fruits contain sugar, but I don't agree with that. Personally, I think it's fine to have some fruits during the cleanse. I would just try to stick to the low sugar fruits like berries and green apples and things like that. You can also have meat, chicken, fish, eggs, dairy. You can have vegetables. I would just try to limit the amount of starchy vegetables, but vegetables overall are fine. You can have soups, and as I mentioned, I put specific recipes that are healthy, that are all approved for this cleanse into the ebook, so you can check out the ebook for that. Antimicrobial and antiparasitic herbs. We use these herbs to kill off the bad bugs. So which herbs should you use? Well, this is a page from my ebook that's going to help us to understand. So there are 5 main types of bugs that may be causing gut issues. Number 1, we have bacteria. Number 2 is fungus like Candida overgrowth. Number 3 is protozoa, which is tiny microscopic parasites that you can't see with your naked eyes. And number 4 is worms. Now, within each of those categories or types of bugs, there are many different species. Now, this is very important to understand. Each herb is only effective against a certain number of species. That means there's no one herb that's going to kill every single protozoa, every single species of worms, and every single species of bad bacteria that's out there. I've studied herbs and parasites for a long time. That's not how it works. If you haven't done a stool test and you don't know what species of parasites or other bad bugs you might have, then in that case, I would use a strategic combination of herbs that will increase your chances of killing off the species that you might have. I would basically use 2 supplements. One is called ParaCompx, and the second one, it's Mimosa Pudica. Okay, so I would use a combination of those 2 things. I'll put a link to both of these in the description below if you want to order them. So the ParaCompx has a lot of herbs that are antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-protozoa. So it'll kill off a wide variety of bugs and potentially some worms. I've seen some people take this and also get rid of worms, but I think you maximize your chances of killing all the different types of bugs by combining this with the Mimosa Pudica, because the Mimosa Pudica, it's the most effective herb that I've seen for killing worms specifically. So when we combine the ParaCompx with the Mimosa Pudica, that gives us a strategic combination that's going to address all the types of bugs that can be causing our gut issues. And I actually used this the second time around when I did my cleanse, when I came back from a 7-month trip through South America, and I can confirm that it works very well. I use this alongside the Mimosa Pudica as well. This is the Mimosa Pudica supplement. What's the dose that I took and when did I take it? The ParaCompx, I took 1 capsule 3 times a day, and I took each capsule 15 minutes before my meals. So 15 minutes before breakfast, 15 minutes before lunch, and 15 minutes before dinner. Each bottle of the ParaCompx has 60 capsules, which means if you take 1 capsule 3 times a day, that's going to last you for about 20 days. And the protocol is a 30-day protocol. Okay, so we have a 1-month cleanse that we're doing. So I think it would be a good idea to get 2 of these bottles because it's going to last you for the full 30-day protocol, and you're going to have some left over. So I always like to have a bottle of this ParaCompx with me when I'm at home and when I'm traveling, just in case I pick up any bad bugs. If you can't afford to get 2 of these, then you can just get 1 bottle and try to make it last for 30 days by taking 3 capsules one day and then 2 capsules the next day, and then 3 and then 2. So you can just keep alternating, and that will make it last longer. And you can add in fresh garlic, papaya seeds, fennel seeds, and pumpkin seeds to add extra herbs into the mix during your cleanse. Now, if you can't afford to get both the ParaCompx and the Mimosa Pudica supplement, then I would just buy the ParaCompx, because the ParaCompx can kill worms as well as the other bad bugs, which is the bonus that you get with the ParaCompx that you don't really get with the Mimosa Pudica. By the way, quick question. Are you getting value from this video? Honestly, if you are, then can you please hit that like button, because it's going to help out my channel. Thank you. Now let's talk about binders. So during the cleanse, you're going to be killing off parasites and other bad bugs. And when you kill them, they release toxins as they're dying. So you might experience something called detox symptoms, which is a result of those toxins. So you might feel a little bit of a headache, you might feel tired, you might get a little bit of an upset stomach, your skin might break out a little bit during the cleanse. And all of these things are detox symptoms that are normal during the cleanse. Your body is always detoxing on its own, so you shouldn't really have too much of an issue with detox symptoms unless you already have an underlying problem. But if you have constipation or leaky gut, for example, then the toxins can actually stick around for a while, and there's a chance that they might get reabsorbed back into the body instead of being excreted or taken out of the body through your poop. So that's where the binder comes in. A binder, think of it like a magnet. It goes through your gut, and it's like a magnet, and it attracts and traps the toxins to make sure that they get out of your body. So the binder can help you reduce detox symptoms during the cleanse. There's 3 main options when it comes to binders. Probably the most popular one is activated charcoal, but you can also use bentonite clay or zeolite. Now, zeolite might be the best one to use, but it's also typically more expensive and harder to find. probiotics, and fermented foods. So during the cleanse, we're using herbs to kill off some of the bad bugs. Now, after we do that, we want to replenish with good bugs, which is what probiotics are. It's good gut bacteria that can actually support your digestion, support your immune system, and it has many other benefits as well. So you can either take a probiotic supplement, or you can eat fermented foods which naturally contain probiotics, or you can do both to get your probiotics in. So the probiotics is in the last 2 weeks of the cleanse. So the first 2 weeks, you're just focusing on killing off the bad bugs. And then the last 2 weeks, you're still taking the herbs that are antimicrobial, but you're adding in probiotics to replenish your good gut bacteria as well. Enemas. So what is an enema? An enema is basically an ancient practice where you're flushing your intestines out with water. So enemas are optional during the cleanse, but I highly recommend it, especially if you have constipation. I did a few enemas during my cleanse, and I have to say it was extremely effective. And I noticed that every time I would do an enema, I would see a lot of worms coming out. So it's not mandatory, but I think it's a good idea to do 1 enema a week during your cleanse. In the ebook, there's a weekly schedule that you can follow along with, which already has enemas included into it. So it'll tell you in that week when to do the enema and how to prepare for it, when to fast, etc. Before I talk about who shouldn't do the cleanse, I just wanted to mention that I work with people one-on-one through Zoom consultations. So if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can reach out to me and I'll help you figure out what's the root cause of your symptoms and help you heal it holistically. Who shouldn't do a parasite cleanse? Number 1, if you're pregnant, trying to become pregnant, or breastfeeding. Number 2 would be anyone who has a very serious disease or anyone who has issues with their detox pathways. So those are the 4 main detox pathways, and if you're struggling with any of those, then it might not be a good idea to do the parasite cleanse until you work on that. So if I had serious constipation, then I wouldn't do the cleanse, because then you're not getting rid of the parasites and the toxins that are building up in your body, because you're not pooping it out, right? You have to be pooping regularly for the cleanse. Just so you know, this cleanse wasn't the only thing that I did to improve my health over the years, because there's many aspects that affect your health, which is why my company is called Healing is Holistic, because you have to look at your health as a whole, which means you have to look at your sleep, your exercise, your diet, your relationships, your purpose in life, and all these other things that affect you. So for example, I improved my diet, I use mindfulness to reduce stress, and I try to work on my purpose and my sense of self. That was a big part of it, and I think that affects your gut health a lot too. And while the parasite cleanse was a big factor for me, I had to also look at these other things to improve my health, and I encourage you to do the same. Alright, so there's a lot of information in this video, so make sure you save this video so you don't lose it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be posting more videos about SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, IBS, acne, hormonal issues, and other issues, and how to naturally deal with them. So if you're interested in that, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.